Imagine every kid in your town showing up to the same place every Saturday morning. Imagine your whole family spending hours at the dinner table, then playing board games all afternoon. Imagine everyone you know watching the same show at the same time on Sunday night. This wasn't a fantasy, this was every weekend in 1960s Britain. Here are the 10 traditions that made it work. 1. Saturday morning pictures. Saturday mornings started the same way for nearly every child. The local Odeon, ABC, or Granada cinema opened its doors, and kids poured in clutching a few pennies. This wasn't a film premiere. This was Saturday morning pictures, a weekly event where hundreds of children gathered in one room. Cartoons flickered on screen. Adventure serials left you hanging until next week. The heroes always faced danger at the worst possible moment, and you had to wait 7 whole days to see what happened next. Everyone sang along to the same songs, voices filling the theater in chaotic harmony. You got a club badge just for showing up. The cinema staff knew your face. Your mates saved you a seat. It felt like belonging to something bigger than yourself. It wasn't just entertainment, it was community. And every single Saturday, without fail, it happened again. 2. The 3 p.m. match. At 3 p.m., the entire country stopped. Football kicked off at exactly the same time in every stadium across Britain. Families walked to the grounds together, the same route every week, past the same chip shop, through the same streets. Fathers and sons stood in the same spot on the terraces every single week. That patch of concrete was yours. Everyone around you was a familiar face. You bought a program from the same seller. You knew his voice before you saw him. The referee's whistle blew, and for 90 minutes, nothing else mattered. No phones buzzing, no distractions, just the match, the crowd, and the shared hope that this would be the week your team finally won. After the final whistle, you walked home together, replaying every moment, every decision, every near miss. The shared rhythm of Saturday afternoon football united millions without anyone thinking twice about it. 3. Huddling round the wireless. After the match, you didn't check your phone for the score. You went home and gathered round the wireless. The whole family found their spot in the living room. The familiar theme tune played, and everyone went quiet. The announcer read out the results one by one, his voice steady and deliberate. You waited for your team's score, holding your breath. Sometimes you cheered, sometimes you groaned, but you always waited together. Your dad leaned forward in his chair. Your mum listened from the kitchen doorway. Even your sister, who didn't care about football, stayed quiet until your team's score was read. That shared moment of suspense, of hoping and waiting together, is gone now. Scores appear on phones before the final whistle even blows. The magic of not knowing, of waiting as a family, vanished the moment information became instant. 4. Saturday night at the dance hall. When the sun went down on Saturday, teenagers had one destination: the dance hall. The local palace wasn't just a building, it was where you showed off your best clothes, learned the latest steps, and hoped someone would notice. You spent the whole week planning what to wear. Girls arrived in groups, giggling nervously. Boys stood along the walls, trying to look confident. Live bands played on stage, instruments gleaming under the lights. Soft drinks were served at the counter. Staff watched carefully to make sure everyone behaved. There were rules, dress codes, curfews, expectations, but that structure made it feel important. It was supervised, it was formal, and it was the biggest night of your week. No phones, no messaging someone to see where they were. You just showed up, and so did everyone else. If you wanted to talk to someone, you had to walk across the floor and ask them to dance. The risk was real. The rejection was public. But so was the thrill when they said yes. 5. The Sunday family walk. Sunday arrived with a different pace entirely. The whole country seemed to exhale. After changing into Sunday best, families headed out on foot. Parks, canals, fields, hilltops. It didn't matter where you went. What mattered was that you went together, with no real plan and no hurry to get back. Children ran ahead, then circled back. Parents strolled, arm in arm, talking about the week behind them and the week ahead. You'd pass neighbors doing exactly the same thing. A simple nod, a quick chat about the weather, the garden, the state of the path. Everyone was outside, moving at the same slow, easy rhythm. There were no shops open to distract you, No screens calling you back indoors. Just fresh air, familiar faces, and the unspoken agreement that Sunday mornings were for walking. It was cheap, it was healthy, and it connected you to your neighbors without needing a reason or an invitation. 6. The classic Sunday roast. By early afternoon, the smell of roasting meat filled every street. The Sunday roast wasn't a quick meal. It took hours to prepare, and even longer to finish. Your mum started cooking mid-morning, peeling potatoes, preparing vegetables, basting the joint. The kitchen filled with steam and warmth. When the meal was finally ready, everyone sat down together at the table. Plates were piled high. Gravy was passed around. Conversations flowed slowly, comfortably. No one rushed. No one checked the time. After lunch, no one scattered to separate rooms. Board games came out. Monopoly, Ludo, Cluedo. Games that took hours and caused arguments and laughter in equal measure. Cards were shuffled. Jigsaws spread across the floor, pieces sorted by color and edge. The newspapers got passed around, each person claiming their favorite section. Hours disappeared in the best way possible. The afternoon stretched and softened, and no one minded. This was Sunday. This was what it was for. 7. The leisurely Sunday drive. For families with a car, Sunday meant something else, the leisurely drive. Owning a car was still a novelty for many, and simply going for a drive felt like an event. No destination, no schedule. Just piling into the Morris Minor or Ford Anglia and heading into the countryside. Dad drove. Mum navigated with a folded map. Kids pressed their faces to the windows, watching fields and villages roll past. Maybe you'd stop for a picnic on a hillside. Maybe you'd pull over for an ice cream at a roadside stand. Maybe you'd just admire a view, stretch your legs, and turn back home. The journey was the point, not the arrival. There was no pressure to make the most of it, or document it, or prove you'd been somewhere. You just went, together, for the simple pleasure of moving through the world at a gentle pace. 8. Washing the family car. Sunday mornings saw fathers standing in driveways with buckets and chamois leathers. The car wasn't just transport. It was pride. It needed to be clean, polished, gleaming. Kids helped rinse and dry, small hands working on the hubcaps and door handles. Water splashed. Soap suds dripped onto the pavement. Neighbors did the same up and down the street, everyone outside at the same time. You'd chat across garden walls, compare cars, talk about the week ahead. It turned a simple chore into a conversation, a shared Sunday morning scene that played out across the entire country. Children learned patience, responsibility, the satisfaction of making something shine. And when it was done, the whole family stood back and admired the results together. 9. Sunday, best and visiting relatives. Sunday afternoons also meant visiting. Families traveled to see grandparents, aunts, uncles, extended family who lived just a few miles away. Everyone dressed in their Sunday best, proper jackets, smart dresses, polished shoes. You didn't show up in casual clothes. The effort mattered. It showed respect. Tea was served in the good china. Cake was sliced on the proper plates. Conversations stretched on, stories retold, updates shared. Children sat quietly, listening to adults talk, occasionally being sent outside to play in the garden. The effort of dressing up and making the journey showed that this person, this day, mattered. These weren't occasional visits saved for birthdays or holidays. This was every single week, a rhythm that kept families connected across generations. Grandparents expected you. You expected to go. It wasn't a question, it was simply what Sunday meant. 10. Sunday night at the London Palladium. And then came Sunday night. The entire household gathered around the television. Curtains were drawn. The fire was lit. Sunday night at the London Palladium lit up living rooms across Britain. The host appeared on screen, the audience applauded, and for the next hour, the whole country watched together. Singers performed the latest hits. Comedians told jokes that everyone would repeat at work on Monday. Dancers spun across the stage in perfect formation. Game segments kept everyone guessing, families shouting answers at the screen. It wasn't just your family watching, it was nearly every family in the country, all at the same time. Monday morning at school, everyone talked about the same acts, the same moments, the same jokes. One show connected millions of people without anyone thinking twice about it. There was no scrolling through options, no debate about what to watch. Everyone knew what Sunday night meant. These weren't grand traditions. No one thought they were special at the time. They were just weekends. Simple, predictable, shared. But together, they created something that's disappeared. A rhythm everyone followed. Saturday mornings at the cinema, 3 o'clock kickoffs, dance halls on Saturday nights, Sunday walks, hours at the dinner table, visiting relatives in your best clothes. The whole country is watching the same show at the same time. It all vanished in less than a generation. Not because people wanted it to end, but because everything around it changed. Choice replaced routine. Convenience replaced effort. Screens replaced gathering. The question isn't whether those weekends were better. The question is what replaced them and whether anyone even notices the difference. Thousands of people are rediscovering these lost traditions together. If you want to be part of that, if you want to see what else disappeared without anyone noticing, hit subscribe. And if this made you think or feel something, leave a like. It tells us you want more stories like this.